Who is Red Hulk? What makes him different from the green one? And what's his origin story? Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the red version of Marvel Comics' Incredible Hulk. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos about all things nerdy. And with that said, let's jump into it. The first thing we have to talk about is how there are two Hulks in the Marvel Universe. You might think, wait a minute, I thought there was only ever one Hulk. Well, you're not wrong, but you're not right either. See, there has only ever been one person who becomes the Hulk, but he has actually transformed into two different versions of the character. We've got the classic green, gray, and sometimes purple big guy we all know and love or know and fear, but we also have the Red Hulk. So who is this red guy? How is he different from the classic Hulk? And what makes him red? The Red Hulk is actually the alter ego of General Thunderbolt Ross. If you don't recognize the name, you probably recognize his face. He's often been depicted as Bruce Banner's greatest enemy, the government agent always hot on his trail, determined to stop him no matter what. So why would someone so opposed to the Hulk become the Hulk? I'm glad you asked. It's not as simple as it seems. When Bruce Banner left Earth in order to try and find a cure for his condition, he left the position of Hulk to Betty Ross, his close friend and the wife of his other close friend and fellow military man, Thunderbolt Ross. Now, Betty did use the power of the Hulk for good while she had it, but she didn't want to keep it. She wanted her life back and for her husband and Bruce to come home. Unfortunately, before she could figure out a way to give up the power, she was killed by the Red Parton MODOK and the Absorbing Man. This sent Thunderbolt Ross into a rage and directly into the path of the World War Hulk storyline. Now, when the Illuminati banished Bruce Banner from Earth, they didn't just do it because they were jerks, although they definitely were jerks. They did it because they were afraid of what the Hulk would do if he stayed on Earth. When the Hulk found out that the people he considered friends had sent him away, he vowed to make them pay. He returned to Earth with every intention of making the Illuminati suffer. But Ross, who had recently discovered that he had latent gamma powers, stepped in front of a Hulk attack meant for Iron Man. In doing so, he was exposed to a massive amount of gamma radiation, which triggered his transformation into the Red Hulk. In some ways, Red Hulk is very similar to his green counterpart. He has the same basic powers and in some cases, he's even stronger than the Green Hulk. There are a couple of key differences between these two Hulks though. Red Hulk's gamma powers give him a much greater degree of control over his own strength, while the Green Hulk is often portrayed as being out of control, raging at everything and lashing out randomly. Red Hulk can maintain his intelligence while he est hulked out, and uses that intelligence to formulate plans and strategies. As I mentioned, Red Hulk also shares many of the same powers as the Green Hulk, but he also brings some unique abilities to the table. As a long-time military man, Thunderbolt Ross already had peak human strength, stamina, durability, and fighting skills. Once he became the Red Hulk, those abilities were supercharged to superhuman levels. He also gained an increase in his intelligence once transformed, thanks to his military training and scientific knowledge. That combination made him a deadly force on the battlefield, able to strategize and formulate plans as he fought, something that the Green Hulk is incapable of. One of the biggest differences between the Red and Green Hulks is their susceptibility to injury. Because the Red Hulk retains his intelligence and ability to plan ahead, he's much less likely to walk into traps set for him. Unlike the Green Hulk, who often has to be saved by his allies because he falls for the bad guy's tricks, the Red Hulk is much more careful and therefore much less likely to get hurt. However, despite his careful nature, he can still be seriously injured, and in fact, he has died a couple of times. Luckily for him, whenever he does die, he comes back as the Red Hulk, which means that death isn't really a permanent state for him. Speaking of his death, Red Hulk's mortality is actually one of the ways that he's different from the Green Hulk. Green Hulk has never technically died. Yes, he's been depowered, and yes, he's been banished to Spidey Heaven, but he's never died. The reason for this is that when Banner is transformed into the Hulk, he becomes immortal. That means that he can't die unless it's done by another Hulk or an external force. Since there is no other Hulks around most of the time and Banner usually keeps the Hulk inside of him contained, Banner himself is safe from harm. That doesn't mean that the Hulk can't die. It just means that Bruce Banner will live forever. Another difference between these two Hulks is their relationship to the Marvel Universe. Both Hulks are extremely powerful, but the Green Hulk is practically a universal threat. His strength is so great that if he's not careful, he could destroy entire planets. The Red Hulk, while also quite strong, is much more of a localized threat. He's still dangerous, but is not nearly as powerful as the Green Hulk. As a result, the Green Hulk is often hunted by organizations like the who fear him, while the Red Hulk is often called upon by the Illuminati to help level threats that they themselves can't handle. In some ways, the Red Hulk is kind of like a superhero version of the incredible string band song Radio Caroline. Just like the song, the Red Hulk came about because of a change in the formula. Something new was added to make it different from what had come before. Of course, unlike the song, the Red Hulk stuck around for much longer than a single album. It's worth pointing out that the Red Hulk is not the only example of a Hulk-like being who is colored red. During the event, World War Hulk, Amadeus Cho develops his own alter ego after being exposed to a small amount of gamma radiation. He calls himself the Red Hulk, but takes the name later on. He's actually referred to as a Hulk and Red Hulk by other characters. Despite his name, his appearance is more similar to the original Grey Hulk. Although he has grey skin, he's also covered in red hair. Eventually, Cho stops being the Red Hulk when he becomes the Totally Awesome Hulk, which changes his appearance to green. While he may not be as well known as his green counterpart, the Red Hulk has still proven to be a fan favorite. He's been featured in several animated series, including The Avengers, Earth's Mighty Heroes and Hulk and the Agents of SMRs. He has also appeared in video games such as Marvel Superhero Squad Online and Lego Marvel Superheroes. And finally, he's also made appearances in Marvel's most recent Avengers movie, Endgame, and Disney's What If episode What If... Ultron 1. Ultimately, the differences between the Green Hulk and the Red Hulk come down to the person underneath the skin. Bruce Banner is often characterized as being more intelligent and reserved, while Thunderbolt Ross is more brash and aggressive. These differences in personality are reflected in the way that each Hulk behaves. The Green Hulk is more animalistic and driven by pure rage, while the Red Hulk is more strategic and controlled. Ultimately, though, both Hulks are products of exposure to gamma radiation, and both are capable of incredible feats of strength and power. So what do you think of the Red Hulk? Is he a worthy opponent for his greener counterpart? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay nerdy.